Okay, I'm gonna assume that blinking red light up there means I'm recording. I haven't actually bothered to mess with this iShowU app in a while. Basically, this is Aces Hire, as you can tell by my lovely name on the left. This is my background. It's lovely, isn't it? Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling now. The basic purpose of what I'm doing this for, as I've told people I was going to do it before, is basically to try and show somewhat how focal point and flow will improve a any signature, any wallpaper, any graphing in general. Basically, I'm not trying to insult anyone's work. I'm just saying I have seen a lot of issues, especially with focal point. So I'd like to just see if I can help you guys out. So we're gonna open up a Photoshop here, and what we have right off the bat is the Chris Jericho signature I made. Oops. Basically, the reason I had this up is for the focal point. I know it's not the best example for it because everything's large, but basically, as you can kind of tell, I mean, it's everything is centrally located. Everything's in one place. Yes, your eye will jump from picture to picture to picture, but that's what it should do. I mean, the basic way to test for focal point is you close your eyes and you, for like 2 seconds, open them looking at the graphic. What's the first thing your eye's going to go to? Basically, you do that on here, your eye's going to usually go to this guy right here, and then it's going to follow through, and then it's going to go to the text. The text should usually be the last thing your eye will go to. It's just the way it is. I know a lot of the stuff I've seen, they don't go to the text last. They usually will go to it first, because if you put the text off in like this corner here, whoops, I'm moving stuff. If you put the text up there and everything's like centrally located off to the right, your eye isn't gonna go to that render, no matter how small that text is. If it's by itself, your eyes will go straight there, and your eyes should not go to the text first. It just shouldn't. Yeah, some people might say the text on this isn't blended well. This is not a signature I'm the most proud of in the world, but I worked with it. It did end up winning, but that's because I don't remember who I was facing. Metalik, I think he didn't show up. So anyway, that's the basics of focal point. I might touch on it a few in these other ones. I don't particularly know what I opened them all for. Skip Brandy Moss for now. I brought this one up. This is the same basic style I used for the DX one. I mostly just changed the render and text on it. The reason I'm showing this one, this is mostly to show flow, because I have noticed a lot of people too, it's stuff all over the place. You got big thing up here, you got something over here, and it's hard to follow a line through it. Flow it's hard to explain really, but basically you're gonna want everything. Look, that's a giant flower. I don't know why I had that out. You're gonna want everything to go in the same basic direction. Like you see this one, this line here, it follows right through. So I mean, yes, your eyes start on him, that's the focal point, but his body has that general curve. This line has that same direction. I mean, yeah, you're gonna see like this one here, and it goes in the opposite direction stuff, but the general flow of it will follow your focal point, so it's gonna go straight up that line, because that's where his body goes, that's where that line goes. Anything else is just extra. It's not gonna be the general path of your eye. I mean, I usually explain flow, it's like a book. You're not gonna read a book unless you're in Japan or something from the right to the left. That's just not how North America works. You read it from the left to the right, and that's the same way flow should work. It should all go in the same direction. If I had, say, there's my line tool here. If I had, say, lines going through, one there, one going through like that, one there, I mean, it's just not gonna look right. It's just not. I mean, that's an oversimplified explanation of it, but when you have stuff all over the place, it's just not gonna look right. I can show it to you, this one too. Close, I don't want to save that. And the Ferrari one I made, I know this one lost. Give Ghost credit. I'm gonna leave that point alone before I start rambling about it. it all follows the general line of the car. The background isn't important, and even like the corners here aren't important. What it does, these lines here, these little fiery squiggles, they are the main thing that's showing the flow on this. They'll go right down. I gotta stop clicking. Right down the line of the car, and then right out over those. And that's the same thing on the bottom. It's going to do the exact same thing. And that's the way your eye should go, because it's going to start up here by, say, where the logo is and where the lights are and stuff, and it's going to flow right through to the background. That's how flow should work. Your eye should follow the same path and not be jumping around everywhere. Otherwise, what's the point? Because you basically got random stuff. The Randy Moss one here, I made this a while ago. This is a really old one for me. I still like it though. I find it a good signature. This shows a lot of focal point and flow. The flow, as I was saying, it follows the general path. His body is slightly curved like that, so the lighting I put on it goes down at an angle. It follows the same general body line. That's the way it should work. As far as focal point, you can see I have a background render, I have text, but he's well lit enough that the main render of Randy Moss is the focal point, and then your eyes will follow through to the text, because the text is right next to him. Now, some people, I know that Wrestling League style, it's going to be, oh, well, the text is hard to read. And yes, this text is a little hard to read. This is the best example of my text. I'm not great at text. I don't really strive to be great at it. I would like to be better, but in any case, what you want to do is not necessarily make the text the most readable thing ever. Yes, being able to read the text is good, but if you just slap on, like, say I just wanted to throw some text on here, I wouldn't actually do this, and I'll explain why in a minute, especially since it's blue. I would never ever have blue text once my colorful pinwheel of death here stops spinning. Come on, pinwheel of death, stop spinning. That text tool doesn't particularly like me. There we go, I think. Come on. Anyway. So, say I was on the top layer here. I know this is the PNG, so I'm not going to get that. But if I just threw the text on here like this, that's going to stand out. No matter what I do with it, that's going to stand out the most. Because everything is blended in, and then this is just right there. And even if I make this smaller and put it in the corner or something, which I've seen a few people say, well, it's small, how can it take the focal point? Well, look, even if this is small, if I put it right up in the corner there, because everything is blank behind it, that's where your eyes are going to go, is right to that text. And you don't want that. You want them to flow through the render to the text and then see the background stuff. And I don't know, I don't have any other examples here right now, but that's just my basic reasoning. I'm not trying to be an ass and say these things. I am trying to show you. If you have any questions, then let me know, and I'll see about answering them the best I can. For now, that's it, I suppose. I don't really know what else to do for you. Apparently, it quit unexpectedly when I told it to quit. Oh well. Hopefully this thing uploads quick, and I'll see you guys on the forum.